have a lot of people excited for Klonoa right about now. Isn't that right, Lemma? Yeah, there he is. You want to say hello? Gang. Lemma wants to say hello, I think. Yes. Yes, he does. Lemma, are you excited for Klonoa? He's so excited for Klonoa, and so am I. Thank you so much to Moser and Corey for putting this on. Take it away.
Hi, I'm Corey. I use it, its, and they, them pronouns, and today I'm going to be showing off Klonoa. I'm here with Moser.
Hello, yes, I'm Moser, and I have no pronoun preference, and I also run this game sometimes, and in this case I'm going to be helping Corey commentate their run, and I was also helping kind of teach some of the tricks and stuff.
I'm just gonna skip away to save state with my name there.
Yep.
And I think I'm ready to start. I will just count in then.
Yep, yeah, we start time on first input after the game has started, so first movement input.
Okay. I will just start that then, and time will start right after this load then, pretty much. Oh, there we go. Right at the start of this game, it's pretty straightforward. Just missing those first enemies. One thing that I learned from watching some of the other runs is that picking up enemies is a little bit faster if you do it while you're like in the air. So if I jump before picking up an enemy, that works a little bit faster than just picking them up on the ground. I don't know exactly why that is.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting movement tech like that in this game, and the picking up the enemy is done. What Corey's doing is shooting what's called the wind bullet, which inflates the enemies and lets you grab them, and then you can use them to execute double jumps or throw them at things in elsewhere in the stage, including in the foreground and background. Since this is a 2.5D game. Mostly a two-dimensional game, but there's foreground and background elements that you can throw enemies at. But for whatever reason, using the wind bullet on the ground slows you down. It kills your momentum, either completely or mostly, depending on kind of whether you're in, I think, a sliding state or not. It's all very obscure, and we've learned some new things about that even the last time we updated the tool-assisted speedrun. But fortunately, from a practical standpoint, for actually doing RTA runs of the game, it's and mostly, yeah, you may do a stage reset here, yeah. Because unfortunately, that's a nice side path that's very great for the completionist route, but it's not necessarily gonna get you through this as quickly as possible. But yeah, so, but yeah, just being in the air when you grab the enemies doesn't kill your momentum. You get the kind of smoothest movement you can. Yeah, dealing with those enemies is a bit of a pain.
Yeah. Those little timers are the checkpoints in this game. I tend to grab those a lot, even if they're just a tiny way to stay out of the way, because I am still a little bit nervous about dying in certain levels, but they also become kind of important in a later level, or a skip. But that's a ways away still. Yep,
we'll see that soon. That's exciting that you're going to be able to show that off. Yeah, I too have always been very liberal with my checkpoint grabbing in this game. Only in extremely kind of optimized runs do I sometimes end up skipping them. But yeah, there are in most of my runs that are publicly available, there'll be at least one time when I'll lose half a second or something just to grab a checkpoint. So that's not an unusual strategy, given how easy it can be to die in this game.
Oh.
Well, unfortunately, almost got almost got the fast way through that, but unfortunately having the kind of optimally imperfect timing to.
That's a weird grab. I'm gonna grab some of these just in case.
Good idea. Yeah, just in case.
Yeah. There's also some. The next up is the first boss of the game. The game has a pattern of like a level, and then a boss. And this boss has some damage boosting that you can do. which I'm going to try to do. That took a bit too much damage there, but that's fine.
That's okay. That's just fine.
It's just the general idea there. We'll wait for him to do his thing for this one.
You can actually get a quick hit on that when the back is kind of arched.
Yeah.
But yeah, wouldn't worry about that.
Just gonna do that.
That is a perfectly viable way. And one more hit now.
I'm just gonna wait for this.
Yeah, so if you throw now, okay, yeah, that's cool too.
Yeah.
Better safe than sorry.
Pretty
Yeah, well done,
simple
well done.
first boss. The bosses are definitely one of the main places that I have for time save in future runs of this game. Because I know there's a lot of faster ways to do them, but they're also a bit riskier, so...
Yeah, the bosses are by far the hardest part of this game, both casually and speedrun wise.
All right.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite levels. This is 2-1.
Okay,
deep in
what
the
am I
Dying
doing?
Forest. Unfortunate. And as I was just about to say, actually, there are a lot of these kind of slippery leaves that are on cycles, and so at basically any level of learning this game, this is where you're going to see early game deaths. Kind of no matter like I said, no matter what level you are at this game, there's always some chance that you're not going to make it through this unscathed. So that is not at all an unusual occurrence, unfortunately.
We just got a little cutscene that I skipped that tells you what key doors are, which is helpful information.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly which what stuff Corey's going to necessarily risk later on in the run, but there are some opportunities to do tricky things with the key doors that save actually kind of very minimal amounts of time, but they can look super cool.
I don't really go for any of those, but it's good to know
fair,
that they
yeah,
exist.
that is totally fair. Yeah, and there's technically one here, but it's even some of the very top runners don't bother with it because it's such a minuscule time save.
It involves like throwing enemies out the door somehow, right?
Yeah, well, it involves just rather than picking up the key, just keeping an enemy and then doing this frame perfect turnaround on the door so that it clips you into the door frame.
Oh, that one's a clip then. Okay.
Yeah, but it's a weird clip too, unfortunately, because the geometry of the doors makes the door clips work differently, and the fact that that's the only one where the door is to the right of you, mechanically it's just a number of different factors turn out to make it very obscure.
There's a bunch of weird geometry things in this game, which you might not expect, given it being like mostly 2D, but no, it's got some weird stuff. Moving on to 2-2. I really like this level. Just like the movement, and it feels like really... the movement, and it feels really nice for a lot of it, if I do it right.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a general thing with this game, too, is like, the movement, when you get it, feels really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And the cycles, and particularly in this level, the cycles can line up kind of almost perfectly so that you sort of don't have any slowdowns.
A little weird, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's all good. There's some time to be saved if you bring an enemy straight in here, and that's actually...
I always forget to grab the enemy before going over here.
Well, unfortunately, the timing wasn't right for you to necessarily even bring the enemy. But yeah, a common theme in the speedrun of this game is if you there are a lot of kind of puzzles, and I use that term a bit loosely, but there are a lot of puzzles and situations where the game expects you to grab an enemy that spawns in when you reach an area. but you can often save a little time by already having an enemy that you kept from a previous area.
It's got very simple controls, but there's a lot that it can do with that, and that's something that I love about this game. Because all you really do is move and grab and throw enemies and jump, but there's a lot that it does with that.
Yeah. Yeah, basically a 2-button game.
Yeah, 2-button and D-pad.
Just dealing with this giant enemy here.
Grabbing an enemy that didn't need to there, but that's okay.
That's all good. Yeah, and you can of course you can just damage boost through that, but when you're a little low on health, it's certainly better to not do that, because we've got one of the harder bosses coming up here.
Thankfully, like before, a lot of the bosses, they have extra lives and health upgrades.
Yeah,
or, like,
absolutely.
health boosts, heals, that's the word. This boss definitely does give me some trouble. It's a cool boss, but it's yeah.
Yeah, and
Love,
I mean, this is the biggest mystery of this game too, because there's a lot of behavior of the boss that we still don't completely have a handle on. We have what we have kind of. We have what seems to work well at top level, where basically it is likely to give you a good fight no matter what RNG you get, but there's a lot of debate about whether that's necessarily even really the best strategy on average or anything. So there's a lot of mystery associated with this, but
it's been going pretty well so far. Yeah.
Very quick work of this. Yeah.
Yeah. I was not expecting it to. I don't want to speak too soon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's probably the fastest I've ever done that fight. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you should be. That's a very good Pamela there.
Thank you. Moving on to World 3. Right, this level.
We return now to the Forlock Forest, which was previously the Dying Forest. As you can see, it is no longer dying. It is now being reborn because we've restored the flow of water. Yeah.
I have to walk all the way to that platform to spawn the enemies in, and then use one of those enemies to break a box here.
Yep.
And talk to that person there. And I can move on. Okay.
Yeah, there are frame rules on these moving platforms, since it started moving the moment Corey stepped on it, that means that they caught a good frame rule there. In the sense that what it is every 2 seconds the platforms check if you're standing on them, and if you are, they take off. So if it starts moving the moment you step on it, that means that you got right at the edge of a frame rule, which is what you want. If it takes a long time to start moving, that means you unfortunately just barely missed one. But again, that
makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, that's very obscure tech. Because I mean, in all cases, you want to go as quickly as possible. The only reason knowing that there are frame rules involved there even matters is because right at the beginning, there's a really tight one you can catch. And so you know to focus extra hard on perfecting your movement right in that section to try and catch that early frame rule.
Just gonna grab this one.
But again, that's not something that you would be. That's not something that you would even be thinking about for an event like this.
Right.
It's just kind of obscure knowledge that I can't help but share sometimes.
No, it's good. It's interesting. I like hearing about that. I am really glad that this game, for a lot of the places where you need enemies for one reason or another, it'll just respawn them for you pretty easily.
Oh yeah, yeah.
'Cause otherwise, I would be stuck a lot more.
Yeah, there are, and usually the game does a very, very good job of not soft locking you if you do something weird.
Just damage boost. Oh no, I should not just damage boost.
Yeah. It's a little iffy there.
Yeah.
Once you start using some of the weirder clips and stuff, there are cases where you can accidentally despawn enemies that you need, and that actually.
Okay.
Ooh, that's fine.
It is.
I believe I died in that same spot in the last marathon I did of this game, so that is not a problem at all.
Let's do this better. I don't need to grab this enemy here, but I'm doing it anyways. Okay.
Much better.
Yeah, this whole section is just a little weird.
Yeah.
Bit of backtracking and stuff going on here. Oh, and that's fine. I accidentally threw the enemy, but that's okay, because it'll spawns another one for me here.
Yep.
So I don't have to go all the way back to grab a new one. Oh, I was too close to that one.
We gotta go a little out of our way here to get a key that's coming up.
Yeah.
This is one where technically the key is skippable, but the...
I'm just going very slow there for a second.
Oh no, that's a
little scared.
A lot of easy deaths here. Technically the key is skippable and you can save a few seconds with that, but
yeah.
The key door skips in particular are all unique. And they all exploit kind of the clipping mechanics that you do everywhere, but the way they work out, none of them work the same as each other. So unfortunately, even if you get really good at the wall clips and if we make it that far, maybe Corey will be able to show off some of the wall clips later on.
So.
No promises, of course. No pressure either. But it's totally understandable not to go for any of the key door skips, because again, no matter how good you are at the clipping, unless you memorize the details of those exact skips, you're not going to be able to execute them.
Yeah. When learning this game, I got a bit stuck on this level because I was trying to learn one of the key door skips.
Yeah.
But I eventually just realized that I should just move on.
Yeah.
Because I got it maybe once.
Yeah.
But maybe in the future I can learn those.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
This section, hopefully don't have to need to use too many enemies here. No, not far enough left.
Yeah, we have to activate this switch here.
I'm just gonna...
Just destroy that to have an easier target. Yeah, there you go. Activate that switch in order to, again, get one of these platforms moving. You can just go to the right now.
Wait, you can go right here?
Yeah, just don't fall. Yeah, okay. Okay. Because if you're not careful, you run off the edge. It does not stop you. There's no invisible wall. But yes, you can just go to the right there.
Yeah. No, I just assumed that I'd assumed that you couldn't go right there. But
yeah.
I'm learning.
Well, yeah. If you watch, I believe the world record has it. And I know my PB has it. If you watch that, there actually is a really cool trick jump you can do to hit that switch without even ascending that area at all. If you damage boost off an enemy, jump, grab it, and throw it at the switch through the wall. Again, it took me probably 100 tries to ever be able to execute that trick, and that was after I had learned all the other tricks in the game. So that's like the last trick you want to learn in this game. And again, my success rate and even the Balnear, the world record holder's success rate with that is not high. But that's one of the kind of flashiest tricks you can do. But
at the start of this level, there was an exploding enemy that I grabbed, and I dropped it, and then I grabbed it again, so that that's what explodes sooner, right?
Grabbing it quickly so it explodes sooner. Re-grabbing it on the ground. That's actually a setup for the door clip that comes up here. It doesn't skip the key, but it skips the animation of going through the door. But again, that's it. All it saves is the time that Corey had to wait there for the door to open. So it's like a 4-second time save, not something that is mandatory at all.
Okay, it's a little rough there.
That's fine. Yeah. This is and it's good that you got the checkpoint there.
Oh, no.
It's very easy for that to happen here in this platforming section.
This section's a little rough.
Yeah, and this, but having the checkpoint there, it turns what would be a 1.5-minute time loss into an 18-second time loss.
Yeah.
So that's always a good checkpoint to go for. It does change the cycle.
A little careful here.
Yeah, it does change the cycle ever so slightly, but
got that. All right.
Yep, activating another switch. This level is very much, there's a lot of backtracking. It's very much a labyrinth of different paths and stuff, so...
felt very maze-like first time casually trying to play through it.
It may not seem like it, but this routing actually is the correct thing to be doing.
Oh. I don't usually get hit.
Yeah, the time...
I always think this is a different room than it is.
Yeah.
Gotta throw that so it hits a switch. There we go.
Perfect, yeah, and making the cycle there on that door. That door slams shut. It's trying to make a puzzle to teach you how to use those exploding enemies. So if you get tripped up on your movement, you can miss the door and it'll slam shut on you, and that's... at that point, it might as well be a death in terms of the amount of time it loses, because you have to backtrack and redo everything, so that did not happen, which is great news.
Yeah. I feel like this is going pretty well for me so far.
Yeah, so far this is clean. I mean, like I said, the last time I did a marathon that I thought went well, I believe I died in the same 2 spots that you did. So, and after that, I had no further deaths. So I am confident that we will maybe have the same thing happen here. Of course, I'm kidding. There's no pressure at all. You've been doing this game for a few days, whereas I've been doing it for a few years at this point.
All right, now we gotta wait for a little bit, because... Yep.
Now we're back here, finally. But the platforms here are moving.
There is a way to get an enemy over here and save a little bit of time, but I have not gone for that yet.
Yeah, that's definitely, it's a frame perfect trick, and it's one of the kind of, it's a hard one to try, because if you do it, it seems like it should, well, there's a whole tragic backstory behind why it doesn't let you just skip the whole level. And the reason is because if you don't activate the mechanism to get the platforms moving, the one that Corey is currently standing on is just out of reach. So you can get all the way up to here, but you can't finish the enemy. So the only time that trick saves is letting you wait for the first platform to swing back down. So overall it saves about 7 seconds, and in order to do it, you have to execute this frame perfect thing. So you get basically 2 tries at it before you start losing more time than it saves. So that is not one that I would encourage anyone who's interested in learning this game to necessarily learn right away. I mean, unless you want to for fun, but it's not, if you're just trying to get whatever milestone time, that is definitely not the first one to go for. And this boss, I will give you some focus time.
This boss is just kind of annoying.
Yeah.
I forget what the bosses are called. What is this thing?
Galg Balm. Yeah, Galg Balm is what this one is called.
Okay.
Who knows what that means?
But a bunch of moves into its center thing there. And there's a damage boost stuff you can do on this one too, but I don't go for it.
Yeah. Understandable.
Oh, springs. Okay, no.
Yeah, the springs can be tricky for sure. They're not
Timing
like
the jumps
springs
from
in
springs is kind of weird, yeah.
Yeah, they're not like springboards in Sonic or games like that. You have to actually make an input in order to get the high bounce off of them.
Yeah.
And the way that works is actually not as straightforward as you'd hope.
It's going all right, though. It's gonna throw another one of those balls at me.
Yeah.
Okay. Just jump over all that nonsense. Grab another one of these. And these red moves, that's what your profile picture is, right?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
It's great. They are kind of cute.
They are.
Kind of weird, but they're kind of cute.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was a very good Galg Ball.
Thank you.
I know that last segment required a lot of focus if you've got a second.
Oh, sure.
So, we got an anonymous donation of $5.55 saying, "Good luck, Corey." Clearly, the good luck made its way to you in that last segment.
Thank you. Okay. This level is... There's a lot of damage boosting in the normal runs of this, but I don't want to take much damage at all because I am a little bit scared.
Yeah, this is another one where again, kind of no matter how long you've been doing this game, there's a good chance that something can go wrong here.
Right. A lot of room for problems.
So the good luck was warranted.
Yeah.
There's a very small...
Sorry, what?
Go ahead.
No.
I was going to say there's a very small wall clip that's possible to do to get to the section that Corey's in now a little bit earlier. I think it saves less than 9 seconds. No, I think 7 seconds. So again, not mandatory at all. But it's just one of those things that if you are really eager to learn the game, it's always out there.
All right. Just moving along here. These fire orb enemies are a little bit of a pain to figure out how they work.
Yeah, they're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. And the
just like the hitboxes on stuff does not make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I am not going for the thing here.
Makes sense. That's one of the harder tricks that's here, and it saves a fair bit of time, but again, not as much as you'd think.
Saves a really annoying section, but
yeah. I was going to say doing this platforming isn't necessarily free either. Even in the glitchless category of this game, the no skips category, there's some really cool cycle tricks you can do in this section to get through it a bit faster, but so far this is looking pretty clean.
all right, onward.
Yep, one more
of these sections.
swinging platform, yeah.
I'm just gonna steal that guy for
Nice,
fun.
yeah. Yep.
All right, that's
Yeah, well, you don't want to accidentally get knocked back at the last second. That's an understandable impulse for sure. Yeah, very clean 4-1.
Okay, this level, I don't like the starting section of this at all.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one where with experience you can minimize the damage you take by kind of memorizing exactly where these enemies are going to be when. But that actually was good. That was not bad at all.
It wasn't terrible, yeah. Just try to not get hit.
Yeah, I would have, honestly, I would have gone maybe for the safety heart there, but we should be just fine.
I found that at the start of this level, if I try to grab the things, I just can't, because the water pushes you forward, but it keeps pushing you, even when you're in the air.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the timing can be weird on the safety heart there for sure.
Grab one of these. Oh, and I did not mean to throw that yet. That's okay. We'll just go over here and grab
Yep, that is fine.
this guy.
Yeah, if you
Okay,
make it
I should
to
probably
this
actually...
section. Yeah,
Okay.
and so those enemies are a good example of the, and not an intentional way, but they're a good example of the 2.5D nature of the game, because these little ghost enemies, which for some reason are called clowns.
Clowns?
Yeah, I don't understand it either, but good getting the checkpoint there. You may want to do an intentional death here.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Or, yeah.
Intentional or otherwise, I don't think that was...
Yeah.
Not a bad death.
Those ghosts, they move in 3D space, so they're not actually constrained to the path that Klonoa is walking on, what we call the 2D plane that Klonoa is walking on. And what that means is, unfortunately, and they just follow. They follow. Yeah, good. Make up for the life for sure. So they'll follow Klonoa into the foreground and background, even if Klonoa is farther along the path, which means sometimes you try to grab one, and because it's actually in the Z direction, not aligned with you, it just won't grab, and it's not at all obvious what's going on.
Okay, and then here I gotta wait for this guy a little bit. There we go.
Yep. Perfect.
After the start of this level, it's actually pretty fun, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just that starting area off the water is quite a lot to throw at you right at the start. And we're moving on to my favorite boss of the game. I love this thing.
Yeah, the music's great, the visuals are great, everything about this is fun, and
there we go.
The goal here is to hit these triangles. You have to defeating the boss just means defeating all these, or breaking all these triangles while avoiding the attacks that the boss throws at you. And as you can see, Corey is going to make very quick work of it by hitting them 2 at a time, just like that.
Okay, just this one. Okay.
Oh, it can do that.
Almost.
Yeah, sometimes you almost a totally flawless boss fight there, but
Too early. Oh.
Okay, we get to hear the good part of the music.
It just destroyed my enemy. Okay. There we go.
Nice.
Not too difficult.
And just like that, we're at the midpoint of the game. We're halfway through already.
In terms of time?
In terms of time, yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, I haven't been watching the timer, the marathon timer, but in terms of for an average run, this is the midpoint.
All right. Now this one has 4 orbs that I need to go collect, and I am going to do the green one first because there is a skip involved with the green path, and it's one of a couple skips that I have learned for this run.
Yep, I won't spoil it, but it is a really fun one, yeah. And there's essentially no time penalty for whatever order you choose to do the different orbs in. So it doesn't, going for whichever one first is totally good.
I'm just backtrack with this moo. And there's that timer in the background. And I hit it. Okay.
Perfect. Beautiful.
So if I hit one of these with a moo, it still activates, like, no matter where I am. Okay.
Oh, no. That's okay, you got the checkpoint. That's the whole point.
It's fine.
That's the whole point of the trick. Yeah, just run right after you get down there. Just hold right and you'll just smash through
damage
these guys.
boosting through those is way better than trying to actually beat them all. So that takes so long to actually hit them all. Okay. So that's 1 down, 3 left.
Yeah, that's one of the earliest tricks discovered in this game that goes all the way back to 2013. There was a tool-assisted run of this game that did that, and technically now obsolete. There is a slightly faster thing to do, but in memory of it, we have another death warp that we can do now for the red orb, which I have a feeling Corey's probably not going to go for because it's a bit finicky. Yeah,
it's a bit
the same idea.
It's more difficult.
Hitting a checkpoint.
You just can't see what you're trying to hit on that so much. Oh, and I should grab this.
Yeah.
Okay. That was okay. It's 2 down.
Yeah, no, yellow orb going very smoothly, of course. That was good.
Now, I usually do blue first here. Again, it doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah.
Gosh, when I was first playing for this, like, this level was definitely another obstacle.
Yeah. It's just really long, for one thing.
Yeah, and if you lose all your lives, then you have to start the whole thing again, and that takes a bit.
Yeah.
But, like, after playing this for a while, it is one of the levels that I like a lot more. One of my favorite levels, probably. And I missed it. That's fine.
That is perfectly fine.
These moving platforms, also just another thing that gave me a lot of trouble at the start, because I would try to jump on them when they were just barely starting to move, and well,
the programming in this game is weird in that regard. All the moving platforms are not programmed to work the same way. Like these, there's no frame rules; they just move on their own. But depending on how you stand on them, you can stop them from taking off. It's very weird, the exact mechanics of these. So unless you really familiarize yourself with a bunch of details or just kind of memorize the timings perfectly, you're not going to be able to do them flawlessly. You're never going to be able to navigate the cycles perfectly. Yeah, no, that was great. That was very good.
Just the red one left.
Yeah, and the red one's a fun one.
Okay. I want this guy. Okay, forgot about that. It's no big deal. So I have to knock down these platforms with enemies. Oh, didn't want to jump there. There we go. I don't know why I grabbed that one. No, this game is the movement in it is a lot of fun when you get it down. I've just got a little ways to go for it.
I mean, on some level, everyone does. There's sort of no end to how optimized you can go with some of these things.
Just 1 second for another one of the red moves. There we go. Probably could have just damage boosted through, but oh well.
If you're not used to damage boosting through there, actually it can be you can kind of get stuck in a loop and keep getting knocked the wrong way. So I think what you did was a totally sensible maneuver.
Mm-hmm. We're moving on to 5-2, which is maybe the most difficult level for me, aside from I guess some of the stuff in whatever. But this level is got a lot of difficulty.
As far as actually a level that you have to navigate, this is definitely one of the harder ones for sure, if not the hardest. At very least, it's one of the ones that takes the longest to learn. Which nice, very nice. Yeah, there's a tiny little safe zone there. Yeah, you got the weird glitch where that enemy's spike ball goes in a weird circle perpendicular to the plane.
Yeah, I saw that. I was back and forth. What was happening there.
Yeah, we don't know exactly why that. At least I don't remember exactly why that happens.
I think it's the first time I've seen that actually.
Yeah, it's something to do with the timing, but yeah, that's a rare thing to have happen, so that's cool. Yeah, I suppose I should mention the whole gimmick of this stage is there's this day-night cycle, and it's on a timer, but there's a lot of obscure rules behind it that are really problematic and difficult to learn, or at least to deal with on the fly. And during the day, the enemies are grabbable, but certain floating platforms do not function. Whereas during the night, those platforms are available, but all of the enemies become invincible, and you also have to deal with that. Nice knowing the backup cycle there. That's very, very good.
That's actually the one that I've done more often there.
Yeah. So in that case,
there's two ways to do that room because of the cycles.
Yeah. Corey was using the enemies that were available during the day to navigate up there because the platforms were not available.
I don't know what I'm doing. Go all the way over here.
I thought maybe you were going for the health, but that's fine. Yeah, if you just you don't need to. You can. There is a damage boost you can do here, but yeah, if you're not familiar with it, you can always just break these enemies in the background.
I've
or at least break
had a lot of trouble with damage boosts and making sure I go the right direction after doing them.
That is fair. Yeah, that is
so
that is a perennial problem. Yeah, that is a perennial problem. And there's a really obscure problem that can happen with that particular damage boost that has happened to people in marathons before, where it doesn't swap between the 2D planes that you're standing on, so you can do the damage boost correctly, and then you'll just fall off the edge into 3D space for no reason. And that loses a ton of time. So, barely made that. That was good.
that was a little sketch. A little worried about that. Oh, okay, the fish is not on my plane yet.
That's floating enemy, yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Almost didn't make that. This level has gone so much more smoothly than it should.
No, yeah, this is great. This is what you want to happen.
Yeah. I am gonna grab this, even though you could also grab it later, but
yeah, I recommend that certainly if for a marathon, because you can very easily die here, and there is technically a skip you can do here to grab. So what Corey's trying to do is open this.
That's why we grabbed the
because you got the checkpoint. Yep. What Corey's trying to do here is open this cage to grab an enemy, because you need an enemy to do the double jump to the end of this stage. Otherwise, there would be no reason for this middle section to even exist. And there is an obscure skip we do in any percent to grab the enemy through the cage door. That's got basically a really precise positioning setup, but it's not. Again, it looks like it should save a ton of time, but
oh my gosh, pink enemy was in the way.
Yeah,
that's okay though.
It looks like it saves really a lot of time, but it turns out that actually it does not save that much time. So yeah, now, unfortunately, the cycles are not perfect, so we've got to wait for the enemy to be
hey, get away from me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that enemy can be a pretty big threat.
Got it, though. And there's some health here and a checkpoint, thankfully. But we're almost through this level. Alright. Game very kindly giving us another, one up there.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's it loads us up on lives in this level for good reason, because we're dealing with Joka next, which is the scariest boss.
Hopefully I won't need all 7 of these. That's the most I've ever had, so...
Yeah, I'm optimistic. I think this is going to go very well.
Especially since I was just practicing this right before the run, so...
Yeah.
Alright. I might need to focus a little bit during some of this fight. Okay, that's 3 hits. That's good.
Would this be a good time for...
For what? Reads?
I was going to say, would this be a good time for any messages from the hosts, or would you rather just focus completely?
It would be a good time. I don't have too much to say. I'm just trying to survive.
Well, hey, I mean, that's what we do. We survive together as a team.
Okay.
Speaking of, we work splendidly here together at Speedromizer as a team. If you would like to help with future events, we open volunteer signups before our events. They're announced on our Discord, so keep an eye on our server if you're interested in helping to run the show. You can find that server if you type !Discord in the chat or visit speedromizer.live/Discord. Most roles also do not require experience. We would be happy to have you and teach you even if it is your first time. We will slot you in wherever we possibly can. We are more than happy to guide you and get you involved as deeply as you feel comfortable and as we are able.
Yeah, so this boss kind of maintains the day-night gimmick of the previous level, but it does not work the same way. Again, the rules behind it are not worth going into now, but essentially during the day phase, Corey is trying to throw enemies at the boss and deal with the really annoying hitboxes where a lot of times it looks like
3 hits, that's good.
Corey's getting a dead-on hit, and sometimes it just the game just says no. And then during the Eclipse phase, which we're in now, in order to make the boss transform back from this sort of mysterious turtle/dinosaur form, the only way to do that is to step on all of these tiles until they turn back to yellow, while also dealing with these attacks that the boss is giving you. And once again, because it's the eclipse time or the night phase, the enemies are all indestructible. So just trying to very quickly navigate these tiles while avoiding these invincible enemies and the boss's attacks does require a lot of focus. And health is quite scarce in this level, or in this boss, I should say. And surprisingly, the tiny 1 square gaps in this thing in the arena are actually a huge threat. It's really easy to get knocked into them or otherwise fall. So death in this boss is not an uncommon thing. Again, even at high level, you'll almost always, every once in a while, die here and kill a really good run. But now, not to be overly optimistic, but Corey appears to be down to just one hit. Perfect. Beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
That's very close to as good as that boss can go.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's really fantastic.
This is about as far as I was expecting to get in the run so far. So this is pretty good that I'm here already.
We're in the last level now. And so now
last world.
Yeah, last world. I call it the last
after.
level, but yeah.
Okay.
I consider this. We don't have to talk about the 10 minutes of final bosses that come after this, but but yeah, so Corey's showing off now a wall clip.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, this is a tricky one. This is not easy to execute, but I'll let Corey focus. But this is trying to do these wow, perfect. That was beautiful. That
was pretty quick for me.
Yeah. And you don't need to go for the second one if you don't want to. You can just run.
I don't know the other way.
For this one. Okay, I can tell you. Or you can just do this. That was almost perfect.
I can just do this.
Yeah.
There we go.
Beautiful. Wow.
I practiced this level.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
And
nice, get the checkpoint just to be safe.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So even if I get the checkpoint, I don't know if there's a place for me to die quickly around there. So I'm glad that I didn't fall.
Not quickly, but dying is still a lot. It turns out we timed it. Dying is still a lot faster than redoing the clips. So
yeah, I just don't know where the death would be.
Well, it didn't matter. You did it perfectly. That was as good as I can go. That is
so happy with that.
Yeah. That's basically, that's basically the top level, hardest way you can do 6-1. So that, I was not expecting to see that. That was stunning.
Thank you. I didn't expect that to go that well either. Okay. 6-2. Pretty difficult.
So, but I should just mention, all of those were really obscure, what Corey had to do to make the first one of those clips work was do an exactly position themselves perfectly, do an exactly 2-frame input followed by 2 exactly 1-frame inputs. And that was the only way to make that clip happen. So that is not an easy thing for anyone to do. And now Corey going for another incredibly difficult skip here.
I might not get this so easy.
This one's, yeah, again, this is not easy. And there's a couple versions of this. I think Corey's going for the kind of middle difficulty version, which is still unfortunate. Yeah,
I have to retry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it doesn't actually kill you down there, does it?
Well, you can actually, I don't know if you grabbed the checkpoint or not, I wasn't paying attention, but
I did,
if you do grab the checkpoint, if you grab the checkpoint, it's a little faster to die there, but better to not waste the lives, maybe. But yeah, it is actually, there's a weird fall timer, where if you fall out of bounds, even though you never hit a kill plane, it does kill you after about 7 to 10 seconds.
Okay.
So it feels like you're just falling in the void forever, but eventually the game says, hey, the Klonoa hasn't been on the ground for a long time, so probably just make Klonoa die and not soft lock. So you don't need to retry there if you get the checkpoint.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
But yeah, that was very unfortunate. Basically, that's okay. Just grab another enemy. But yeah, basically what happened to Corey there is they were standing in the right position to do the clip, but they jumped into it for a frame too long, and that should do it. You're through now, yep.
No.
Ooh, narrowly got hit by the pillar there. That's tragic. That was almost just right.
Not entirely sure how to get this consistent. Definitely something that I need more work on.
Yeah, no, this one's very hard to get consistent. So if that happens, if you get in the same situation, just hold left a little bit longer after the first jump. Just a tiny bit longer, because if you hold left for too long, you won't have enough height. So this is this is all very, very finicky.
Yeah.
Ooh, again, just a little early on the second jump, so smacking your head on the pillar there.
I'll keep trying this for a bit.
Yeah, and I should emphasize that this alone, because there's other stuff to do after this trick, but this alone saves enough time that it's worth these multiple tries before you're losing time. Because this skips basically 2/3 of this level. And this is, I believe, the longest level time-wise. I'm not 100% sure. There's quite a few long levels in this game, but...
Having trouble getting back in the wall now.
Yeah, it's very easy with these frame taps to have your finger get tired as well.
Yeah. I have tremors, so that's...
a little further left here. Close, close.
Okay.
But yeah, even if we don't make it out of because again, this is the last level of the game. So even if we don't make it out of here, Corey's just done a fantastic run, and this is just a really, really difficult set of tricks here.
Is that good?
That looks good. Yeah,
that's good. Cool.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay. Now what am I doing?
So now I would just play through normally until I tell you not to. Because that's fine. You got the checkpoint.
Yeah, I have not actually played too far into this.
Yeah, I know you were working on the double jump skip here, which is pretty tough in its own. That's a very, very specific timing. So what you're gonna do is wait until you get the red enemy, double jump up here.
Okay, I'll wait for another one.
Close. Yep, that's fine. Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
And keep going.
And keep going. Go to the right. Yep.
Okay.
Damage boost through these spindle enemies.
All right.
And then what you want to do is grab this first enemy and clip through the pillar to your left.
Okay, I can try that. Is this...
and you can be touching it. So yeah, you don't need to jump or anything. You just do taps. It takes a few taps to get through it, but eventually you're already making progress. I see.
I fell back out.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, just mash the 1-frame inputs. Eventually, you'll make it through.
Doing these 1-frame inputs is kind of difficult.
It is. This is not easy at all. So, but it's also very close.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no need if it pushes you back out. There's no need to jump or anything. Just keep going as if.
I'm trying to very lightly tap left on my D-pad while holding down.
Oh, you're through. So just now hold left for a tiny bit, and then don't go too far left or you'll fall out of bounds. Don't go too far left. Go right. Oh no! Sorry.
Okay, I was not. I should have asked for clarification before doing anything. We're all good. There was a checkpoint here. Okay, there was.
Yep. You did it once. You did it once. You can do it again.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can do this. So am I just falling straight down after this, or?
Yeah, you're just falling straight down through the pillar right below you because the ground will line up there and you'll just land on it.
Okay, good to know. I thought that I was going to have to do something, so I started trying to do something.
You're all good. Ooh, oh, that was 1 frame away.
Okay. Come on.
Yeah, when the shadow disappears, when Klonoa's shadow disappears, that's when you know you're through. And yeah, like I said, the unfortunate thing with these clips is the more you do of them, the more tired your finger gets and the harder. Oh, that's good. So if you just go left, yeah, just far enough to fall, perfect.
Checkpoint.
Got a checkpoint.
I go through here?
Yeah, just play this puzzle normally.
Okay. I need enemies.
Yeah.
Oh, right, I need to go all the way up. Okay.
Yeah, do you know, are you familiar with how this puzzle's supposed to go? So you want to hit that switch, now hit the middle one. But before, normally you want to hit the middle one before the enemies spawn. Yeah, but that's fine. Go for the right one. Go for the middle one.
Okay, it's behind,
it's in the back.
Why it's...
Yeah. Now,
okay, I thought it was in the foreground.
Yeah, very close though.
Let's do it again. I'm not too familiar with this level, to be honest.
Yeah, no, because yeah, I know you were focusing on the skip that skips all of it. So now, but now you've basically done. I mean, we did that pillar clip there so that you didn't have to. Just keep going, proceed as normal. Yeah, we did that pillar clip, which is. That's what that's what you wanted. You want to ride that up.
Okay, sorry.
You want to ride that up. Sorry. Yeah, no. But so now we're back here, and you want to do the clip one more time. Up to
same clip as earlier.
But it's much easier now because you don't have to go to the left because we've raised the pillar.
Okay. The pillar doesn't get in the way. Oh, why am I doing that? Okay.
Yeah, the pillar doesn't get in the way. So it should be just 2 clip inputs.
Okay. And I can
now you can just double jump straight up. Perfect.
Awesome.
And that's it. 6-2 is done.
Okay. Oh boy. I wish I had more lives right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's it. We're done with all the levels in the game. Just the barrage of bosses. So we've made it all the way through Klonoa here.
Okay. Just these, which I have. Yeah. Okay. I have not. Okay.
Yeah, so those teleport you.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what I'm doing.
Oh, that's okay. That is fine. So what you want to do here is, as these enemies fall, or you'll see a bunch of like spheres falling. Mm-hmm. Some of them will be enemies.
I see that.
Yeah, some of them will be enemies. You grab the enemies and just throw them in the middle of the boss, which is easier said than done.
Oh, because they jump off like right away.
Yeah, if you want to do this, like, so this boss
Okay, this
has...
is annoying.
Yeah, this is tricky. There's a lot of tech behind this if you want to do this kind of at a really high level, which obviously we're not going to be worrying about it all now. But yeah, so just focus on trying to grab the enemies out of the air.
Out of the air, okay.
Yeah, that's what I would recommend, because then you don't have to worry about waiting for them to land and start to jump away.
This is very disorienting. Oh my gosh. Okay. I got one.
Yep, perfect.
Progress.
2, nice.
Okay.
And yeah, you want to get up to, if you can, after each of these cycles, it checks if you've reached 4, and then it'll go into the next phase. You want to get basically as many as possible, as quickly as possible.
So getting 5 there is good.
Yeah, so now
Kind
you can
of.
just jump into one of these teleporters to skip the animation. Yeah, 5 is good. Yeah, just dodge these things, hit another teleporter. That's just, it's faster to go in and out of the teleporters, and now you're gonna have to grab these trails of moos.
Oh, this is
Yeah,
funny. Okay. That's not quite so bad.
Yeah,
Except I'm almost dead.
that's fine. Yeah, it's not. We'll probably see this boss again, but that's just fine.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to grab those if you can just damage boost and then shoot.
Right. Give me a moon. That's 1. There we go.
Perfect.
Got all 4 of those.
That's the top level. Yeah, so just go straight for a teleporter.
Right.
Or at this point, you can just wait for the animation to play through. Either way.
I have teleported now.
Yeah, I think you still save time by going for that.
Okay.
And yeah, now there's technically a skip for the 3rd phase here, but I would say just get as many hits as you can and don't worry about that. Once you get down to...
Okay. Yikes.
That's fine, you'll just get back. This will send you back to the 2nd phase. And yeah, once you get one more hit, it will transition to the 3rd phase.
Okay. Don't want to get teleported on accident again.
Okay, yeah, so there we go. Now it's gonna fade out and go to the 3rd phase.
Alright.
And Gadius here is going to summon this triangle and kind of lob it at you. There's another runner, Neil Legend, who's one of the top runners of all Klonoa games, probably arguably the best runner of this game series of all time. Calls these Yoda heads, these green things. So you want to break a Yoda head whenever the triangle is within reach of breaking a Yoda head. That's fine. We may not make it through Gadius, unfortunately.
That's fine.
This
is further than I've ever made it, so...
Yeah, this is a totally respectable run.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you have to hit... You just have to be close enough, sadly.
Right.
So yeah, you're doing the right thing. You're shooting it. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And now just grab the enemies as they bounce around.
Got one.
Okay, now, yeah, very close.
And that's not the head that I need. That's...
Yeah, sadly, that's a teleporter once you hit one of them. So you may be better off waiting for the boss to rotate the... Oh no, I knew that was going to happen, but there's nothing you can do about it.
Okay, that's probably good, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the marathon timer, so I don't know. I don't know as far as what the host thinks about what's going on. I am, of course, happy to to give another shot at Gadius if we've got time. But if we need to do another,
I think that
we can
probably over time at this point. Okay.
Awesome.
So yeah, just let me know when to. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like we're gonna try Gadius again.
For now, until I'm told otherwise.
Yep.
Until I'm told to stop.
Probably until a game over. Because I think
right.
I'm not sure we want to do
likely.
all of 6-2 again.
Oh yeah, no.
That's the unfortunate thing about the bosses. Even though they internally in the game they function basically just like any other level, they do force the last platforming level to reload if you die in a boss. Or sorry, if you game over in a boss. So you can't just we can't just retry Gadius. We would have to do the 6-2 skips again.
Okay. I'm ready to end, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, it sounds like we're gonna call it here. This was an absolutely fantastic run from Corey, and again, this is the final bosses, so this was basically a really solid, complete run of the game. If you are curious about how the final bosses will play out, I recommend you play the game yourself.
Yeah. I'm happy I did so well that I did earlier in it.
But yeah, once again, absolutely fantastic run that you did there, Corey. That was spectacular. And 6-1 was like I said, that's as good as that goes. Bosses were smooth. You can't ask for a better run than that. So thank you for learning this game and giving it a try.
Yeah, thanks for teaching me.
Yeah, no problem.
It's always amazing to see folks crank out, even if it's not a complete run, a heck of a run, right? With a game that you've spent less than 90 days playing. As a reminder, Speedromizer is a charity marathon with a twist where what you submit is not what you run, right? You had submitted the game and then somebody else had to just get it completely randomly assigned to them, right? Corey, you didn't know necessarily what you were getting into with this, but man, you took it on, and wow, what a run! I'm just so happy to have had y'all here to demonstrate this. So thank you both so much for being here. Where can the lovely folks at home find you outside of Speedromizer?
I very occasionally stream on Twitch at Korkorio, Korkorio. That's one place. Moser?
Yeah, I also only very, very rarely stream anymore, but I am Moser2 on Twitch. And you can always find me on the Klonoa Speedruns Discord too, if you're interested in learning this game. I'm always happy to help.
It's always great to see a community of folks that are ready to bring folks in. Little known fact, Speedromizer actually used to be a marathon called We Need More Runners. And so to have brought somebody new into the fold and hopefully given you a game that you've enjoyed playing and might continue on later on, it's just an absolutely fabulous demonstration of what Speedromizer is all about. Thank you both so much for being here. Y'all have a lovely rest of your time zone. Like I said before, what an incredible run from Corey playing Klonoa. A fan favorite from a lot of folks, as some of y'all demonstrated in the chat. And again, I'm just so happy that we get to demonstrate games like these in the middle of Speedromizer. I did say earlier that what you submit is not what you run. You can also submit runs to Speedromizer and not run one yourself. We do encourage running as well, of course. Or if you don't have a game and you just want to learn something, you've never speedrun before, you have no idea where to start, you're just like, I just want to find something, but I can't pick, there's too many good choices. What a fabulous opportunity for you to get involved and say, hey, I don't know what to run, but I want to run something. I can be almost certain there's somebody who has submitted something that has not been picked up yet, and they would love if you would pick up their game. So if you have something to submit, if you have something to run, if you want to submit and run for Speedromizer, please do join our Discord. If you go to speedromizer.live/discord or type in !Discord in the chat, you'll see the URL pop up in the chat. I just dropped it in there for you so you can grab it. That is where we announce all of our events ahead of time, so you can see when it's time to submit runs, when it's time to submit to run, right? It's also a fabulous way to check in on volunteer signups. And I do say signups, not applications, right? This is because if you, as a member of our community, offer to give your own time, we want to bring you in, right? Time is incredibly valuable, and we want to make sure that we are making use of all the resources that y'all are so generous in donating. We're here raising money for community, a fabulous cause, but not all of us have a lot of cash. Some of us, though, have a lot of time and talent to give. Even if you don't have talent, you just have passion, right? Maybe there's a little grain of talent in there somewhere. There probably is. There is for most of us, right? We will help nurture that. We will answer any questions that you may have. I did not know what I was doing at all with stream tech. I knew a little with audio tech. I had a little bit of experience with broadcast stuff in high school, but not all that much, right? Especially not in a live marathon setting online. The team here taught me just about everything I needed to know. They've been supporting me the whole way through this, as I've run some tech behind the scenes today, in addition to hosting yesterday and tonight. So it's just been a real pleasure, and I would love to see y'all get in here, be a part of this community. I would love to see y'all grow. The more hands we have, the lighter work this becomes, and the bigger and better an event we can put on in support of QMUNITY. Speaking of, QMUNITY is a province-wide resource center in British Columbia that delivers programs and services to anyone within the two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersexual, and asexual community in need of support and connection. Regardless of age, location, and circumstance, their organization is there to ensure queer, trans, and two-spirit people can find low-barrier access to mental health resources, peer support, information, referrals, and more. Again, we are working with a local LGBT center because they are on the ground. $1,000 to the Human Rights Campaign, it's a big number for you. It's not the biggest number for them. $1,000 for QMUNITY? Oh my goodness. Or for any local charity, right? Or LGBT center on the ground. Your dollar goes further with QMUNITY. If you would like to donate, looks like here. Actually, Nightbot is already on it. There is a link in the chat, speedromizer.live/donate. I would absolutely love to see what y'all can do as far as raising money here for QMUNITY. That said, we do have one more fabulous run coming up tonight and 2 more fabulous full days next weekend. I don't know about you. I need a little bit of time to rest before my mind, my eyes, my brain is going to be ready, right, for this next run. So what we are going to do is we are going to run a couple minutes of ads. If you don't have money to donate to QMUNITY, leaving this tab open and watching through those ads, even if you have Twitch Turbo, even if you're subscribed to Speedromizer on Twitch, that money will be going towards QMUNITY. It's the little things that help too, right? Raw donations will go a lot better. Certainly will go a lot further, but whatever you have to give, we will gladly take. Just leave your tab open and do yourselves a favor. Take a moment, stand up, stretch, get something to eat, get something to drink, maybe pet your pets if you haven't done so recently. I've got 2 here right there that look like they could use some loving if they're not about to smack the heck out of each other. What is the look on Lemma's face? Oh my goodness. Should I be worried? Chat, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to leave you with those 2, so whatever happens over there happens. I am fascinated to see, along with you, what goes on there. And I suppose we will be right back in just a few short minutes. Stay tuned. Hey, Speedromizer gang. Larry's ready. You see those ears going. Larry's ready. The question is, are you ready? Have you gotten something to eat? Have you gotten something to drink? Have you taken care of yourself? I really hope you have. You deserve to be taken care of, chat. You really, really do. Oh man, just getting emotional, just getting caught in my throat. Man. I am just so glad that y'all could be here for our final run of the night. I do have something that I want to mention. In Ghostland Yard, the run we're about to do here, we've done a fabulous job raising money for QMUNITY here tonight, and today, and the day before, and the day before that. However, I think we can do more. We did, thanks to your generous donations, hit an incentive to make sure that the Any Percent run is not the only one that we are going to see. Right? We are also going to get to see Apocalypse World 1, which is a 7th world, in addition to the 6 we will already see during the Any Percent run. It's kind of a Kaizo world. It's a really, really difficult world, and I am so proud of our runners for having learned a world that I, allegedly their teacher for this game, have not completed myself. They have just done a fabulous job, and in honor of that, I want to recognize that they're not just going to be playing the 126 levels of Any Percent, they're going to be playing 146 levels by the time they are done. And so, chat, I would love to see the total amount for QMUNITY. I would love to see that donation amount go up by $146. I would do it myself. I do not have 146 Canadian dollars. I think I got 73 Canadian dollars in my back pocket, though. So what I want you all to do, any donation that comes in between now, and I mean right now, any donation that comes in between this moment that you hear me saying this, and time on second place in the Apocalypse world, any donation will be matched until we hit an additional $73. You put in 73, I'll put in 73, that's 146. And if you want to surprise me and go further than that, I will not be disappointed. QMUNITY will be blessed, right? But at the very least, your dollar's going a little bit further during these 2 runs. I have had a fabulous time working with these 2 runners that you're about to get to meet. And I'm hoping that you'll get to meet them soon as well. I'm going to check in and make sure that we are ready to go, and I'll see you back here real shortly.